Yarra incident on the tram and a number 57 tram leads to national news story. Friends, WTH here. Duke of Brisbane town, the Duke of Bachelor is coming at you live from one of the tallest residential towers here in Brisbane town, looking down at you fine folks as you scurry around in your fancy breeches and such, getting your lunch and your fancy steaks and beers. Now, there's an incident that happened on the tram. And there are two incidents, friends, because I'll tell you, there's the incident everyone's talking about, and there's the other incident, which is the real incident. Now, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this before I say anything else. So before I say anything else, I want you to use the Google, go to www.google.com, and there's a website, famous one, called the Reddit, reddit.com, and you can Google reddit.com and number 57 tram racist. Now, here's what's happened. Some folks, fine folks catching the trams down there in the wild in Melbourne town are speaking to each other. And what's happened is that they're speaking in some foreign languages and such, because they're talking to each other, I imagine. I don't know. And maybe they're being loud. Who knows? Maybe they're not. They're just being enthusiastic and speaking in their own tongue. Now, a man is speaking to his girlfriend privately. Well, at least he thought he was, because he muttered, "These folks ain't speaking in English. Maybe they should be." And then a blogger by the name of Mr. Wong, he's got ears like a rabbit or something, because he heard him, and like a jump bit up rabbit, he said something to him and said, "You can't see that," or I don't know what he said, but he said something to him, and they started talking to him and telling him no. Now, I don't understand this. Now, back in the day in Mao's China, back in China land, I know that folks were dobbing in their parents and such, and hollering to the governments and such, and you could tell on anyone, your neighbor, and you could do anything you like. And then folks, well, them governments filled up a grave so damn big you could fill up a grave full of folks from one end of the Isle of Borneo to the other, with folks who were dubbed in, or, tattletaled on. So I can understand if tattletaling is part of the human experience and such, I get that. But in Australia, tattletaling, when two folks are making a comment like that on a tram, or in their bedrooms, or on the street, or in a club, or in a bar, or in a cafe, or on the roads, or in a car, or on a plane, or in any other damn place you could think of, ain't right. That ain't right. So the question is, Mr. Wong, why did you talk to these folks about something that they wanted to keep themselves? A private mutterance. They didn't speak to you about it, and they sure as heck, from what y'all have said yourself, they sure as heck didn't say to the folks, stop speaking the strange languages, start speaking the English on the tram. So what the heck's the problem here? I don't understand it. Why are y'all so upset about it? Now, I know you may not agree with them, but here in Australia, fine folks like you and I are allowed to have opinions and such that we can say to other folks without other folks intervening all the time, because we don't live in Mao's China land. And the other thing is, that's the reason why folks like it here so much, because we ain't China land. We ain't Mao's China land, and we don't get involved in other people's intended to be private conversations and such. I don't understand what's going on. Hey, also, Mr. Wong, I don't understand why you think you're protecting other passengers by getting involved in this private muttering, which no one else seemed to object to but you. But then in the same breath, I can see now on your fancy website on the internet, and y'all got a fancy one, I can tell that. You're talking about people catching the trains, and you calling people cattle. Well, Mao Zedong used to call people cattle too. He shot them like cattle by the millions, by the tens of millions. So there's something else you got in common there with the tattletale cultures over there and in other parts of the world too. I don't think it's a good idea to say on the internet that fine folks catching trams are cattle if you're going to object to folks having a private conversation and saying maybe these folks should learn some English. Hey, English is useful, you know. Okay, friends, well, I don't know. Getting involved in a private conversation on the tram, the misreporting of this story and making it sound like them folks were yelling and hollering at other passengers when they weren't. They were just muttering to each other and getting involved in people's secret conversations and such, like a police state. And then at the same breath, calling his fellow passengers who he thinks is protecting cattle. I don't get it, friends. You can explain it to me. I don't understand. The world's gone crazy, friends. When I was a young man, you needed a dick and 3 balls to get around in this town. Today, every other dude seems to take it in the ass, and I don't understand. Why is it okay for a dude to marry a dude? The world's gone crazy. When it's not okay for a woman to marry a man, if they be related. I don't get it, friends. The world's gone topsy-turvy. Mr. Wong, let us understand what's going on in that head of yours. Okay, friends, you tell Billy Jack the truth below. Racism on the number 57 tram. Ooh, holler. National news time. Oh, big story there. Okay, friends, you tell Billy Jack the truth below. Bye for now.